Bless these overseas crowds, because of course last night's episode of SmackDown did come from Scotland. Everyone just going crazy. Then we saw Kevin Owens stuck outside a gate. I guess it happens. Also, hello my friends, welcome to Ups and Downs, the only show you need if you want a bald idiot's opinion on professional wrestling. That's it. Don't listen to the other bald people, don't listen to the people that have full heads, just listen to me. That's right, my ego's out of control now, there's nothing I can do about it. But also, it's not even my thoughts. It's this person's thoughts, the finger of power. So let's point to the sky, and let's point to hell, and let's up those down. We got an idea of what madness we're in for straight away too, because Bayley's music hit. You know the deal with Bayley. Anytime she is in the United Kingdom, we have to get the song. Naomi was out with her too, because she was about to take on Chelsea Green. So Chelsea was all like, oh man, look, I'm here with Piper Niven. She's from Scotland, isn't it great? And tomorrow night, or tonight as I'm talking to you, they are going to become the women's champion. Well, that's nice. They can hold the belt together. Maybe they can even have a tea party, and that can be the special guest. What? Naomi then made sure to slide on her knees and punch Chelsea right in the face, which made me giggle. And also, I tell you, Chelsea Green, her nickname should be the Maximizer of Minutes, because even if it's just her facial reactions, when she is on my screen, she's an absolute delight. She also must have paid off the commercial break, because as always, we cut to the advert, and then when we returned, she had Naomi in a chinlock. Naomi told me what's happened, so we're going to have to make it up for ourselves. It's nice and easy this one though. I bet she went, Naomi, I saw and heard your new entrance, even though it's not really new anymore, but your old song was much better. And then Naomi was staring off into the difference going, memories, when Chelsea attacked. That'll do. Naomi soon battled back though, because she hit a big old dive, although when she went to climb T in the turnbuckle, Chelsea went nope and pulled her down. And I tell you, a lot of people in 2024 are doing that. I smell conspiracy. Green also had a big drop kick for a 1-2-oo, and I tell you this. I mean, you would assume that Naomi was going to win, but Naomi never wins, so it kind of got me. She then tried to cheat when she put her feet on the ropes, but Bayley stopped that one because she is a good friend. This is when Bayley looked at Piper, and Piper looked at Bayley. They didn't really do much else other than this. I thought we were going to get a big hoo-ha. It also kind of signaled the end of things, because then Naomi did hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment surprise roll-up. And she got the pin over Chelsea Green for the Uno Dos Tres. So this was totally fine, and I actually think we were planting seeds here for stuff we're going to do after Clash of the Castle, and I always appreciate that, but mainly it was just nice to see Naomi get a victory, because I tell you, in 2024, there have been few and far between. I give it an up. Like I say, it was fine. When Baron Corbin was back on SmackDown, finally, he found Nick Aldis and told him, listen, I'm ready to go again after doing some soul searching down in NXT. And Nick was all riled up too. He was like, hell yeah, man, we're going to ride off into the sunset. Sadly though, Legado del Fantasma walked in and Santos Escobar mugged Baron off right away because he was like, what is this, charity? I was like, no, Santos, it's not charity. It's a conversation. Listen, dude, it is a good job you're a good wrestler. Owens then yelled at them for what they did to Apollo Crews last week and told us that they'd all been fined. When Santos was all like, hey man, it doesn't matter about Apollo, because from what I hear, he's all good to go again. So why don't I have a match with him later? And damn it, that's what we're gonna do. We look at this big old video for Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and I cannot imagine that they're going to lose their titles later. I'd be most surprised when it was time for the Grayson Waller Effect, which WWE really does like to do when we go overseas. I do want to shout him out because he's gone full troll this last couple of days when he even posted shots on his social media after the Scottish football team lost 3-0 to Germany. And of course, yeah, you know my thoughts on talk shows. I'm just kind of done with them when they came to professional wrestling, but at least here we were building a feud and potentially even a breakup. Because their guests were indeed DIY and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa marched to the ring, and then they basically started destroying the set. So I'm like, oh, well, they must be people after my own heart. They're done with it too. Ciampa then stirred the pot because he started asking questions like, man, is Austin Theory just your secretary, Grayson Waller? I mean, look at the set out here. There's nothing to do with him at all. Grace was like, excuse me, mate. I had this show before I even started teaming up with Austin Theory. But now that we are hanging out with each other, I tell you, I'd take a bullet for him. Let's hope he didn't say it like that, because where the flub was that guy from? It was, of course, an easy opening for DIY, who was like, well, let's check this footage out when we went back to 7 days ago. And not only did Grayson Waller not take a bullet for Austin Theory, he actually used him like a human shield. Grayson was quite funny here. He was like, that's clearly AI. I laughed. He also thought it was very interesting that they didn't carry on playing this video, because you would have seen the fact that Waller did defeat Johnny Gargano when DIY were like, well, we'd like a title shot, please. And Grayson was like, well, I will give you a title shot, but I'm not going to do it here in Scotland. Classic wrestling. DIY then really tried to get through to Austin as well, especially Johnny Gargano, as he reminded them of his past, because they used to hang about NXT, because they were like, man, you're better than this dude, and can't you see he's trying to use you? Instantly, Grayson Waller attacked, and I was like, dude, that is not going to look good in front of a jury, because you look guilty, but of course, just as he was about to be absolutely beaten up, who did he use as a human shield once again? Poor Austin Theory. So I imagine what is going to happen here is that we do break up Austin and Grayson, and DIY win those tag team titles, which makes all the sense in the world. And listen, there is absolutely a babyface run in Theory's Tootsie Toes, but we've got to handle it right and probably borrow a page out of NXT's book. You know, treat him like a goofy but lovable good guy. I think there's something to it. So yes, this is one of those segments I was talking about when we're kind of looking past the pay-per-view premium live event. That's okay. Maybe we'll do it at Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens was then backstage. The Street Profits joined him. They were like, Kevin, man, we've got your back later because you are taking on Solo Sikoa. When Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins started to do a chant, and Kev was like, man, I really love chants. And I said, Kevin Owens, I really love you. You're the best. We then saw Waller and Theory walking backstage as Grayson tried to tell Austin, no, mate, you definitely are my friend. Well, we may have had a little bit of a faux pas because we then cut to Naomi and Bayley who were talking, and Chelsea Green just ran out of the shot, so maybe somebody didn't clue her up. It led to Blair Davenport appearing and yelling at Naomi, so we'll be doing that match soon too. And after Bayley had said, Naomi, you are my best friend and I love you very much, of course, Chelsea Green walked in, because this was the point she was meant to be involved. She said they were idiots when Piper Niven quite literally squished them against a wall. Why not? So maybe Chelsea was meant to be there, I don't know, and she ran away to find her buddy. But this was the build to Bayley versus Piper. I mean, I'm sure WWE realizes that everyone's just going to go crazy for both guys, so you don't need to do much. Once again, I was just expecting a little bit more. When we got a highlight of the night. For it was Santos Escobar versus Apollo Crews, and one, I was just so damn happy to see Apollo back in the ring, because now it's like been the last 3 weeks, but two, Baron Corbin got involved here. Push everything together. Crews also went crazy at the start of this, to the point that both him and Santos Escobar went to the outside. When they got back in the ring and they went out in the ring, they joined in your nan's ring, when of course Legado del Fantasma started to be a bunch of idiots, which is when Baron came to balance the books. And man, this Scottish crowd loved him, so do I. It was actually a really good tease too, because as we know, no professional wrestler can handle another wrestler coming out midway through their match. So Santos wasn't looking. This is when Apollo Crews hit all of his moves, but he can only get the 1-2 ooh. This was like, this is why we need to have him appear on television more. Clearly his MP levels have decreased. Escobar then used the commercial break to get back into this, and of course we saw nothing. But once again, I was able to figure it out, because I bet Santos went, hey, Apollo, do you remember when you had to do that Nigerian king gimmick? Even I had a meltdown when I thought about that. Seriously, what the flub were we thinking? Apollo still came back with all the German suplexes, even though he is most definitely not German, and hit this massive clothesline. This is when I stared off into the distance and I just said to myself, this dude is really good. He proved that with a DVD, as Santos was just selling his ass off. And this is when Legado del Fantasma must have freaked out, because they went and attacked Baron Corbin. The first was like, well, what did he ever do to you? And I was like, oh no, actually, you have been fighting all evening. It of course served us somewhat as a distraction, and Apollo Crews was climbing Tina the turnbuckle at the time, so Elektra Lopez took advantage. She pushed him off, and Santos Escobar hit the most devastating move in all of sports, an attempted surprise roll-up, and he got the 3. So look, quick down, you don't need more than one surprise roll-up on every show. That aside though, I thought this was really great, because Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin can absolutely become a tag team, and their whole thing can be, we're really underrated, and we deserve more opportunities. I would buy that. Also, them feuding with Legado del Fantasma, I don't know, man, there's something good about that. So I'm all in with this, and I'm giving it up. When we debuted a brand new feature on WWE TV, the decibel meter, so we could see how loud the crowd was gonna get. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? You can't blame WWE though, because it was time for Cody Rhodes to come to the ring. This thing was just going crazy. I mean, at some point you could barely hear him. He didn't want to talk about AJ Styles though, because he was so disappointed about the guy that he has become, because he is turning into that dude that's all like, oh man, I just need one more run, I just need one more shot at the championship. Although he didn't do the wiggly cheeks. It also sucks for AJ, because he now has the impossible task of trying to get Rhodes to say, I quit, when as per Wrestling Rule 14.8, because we had said AJ Styles' name a lot, out came Ash, along with Gallows and Anderson. And he was super duper happy that he had got under Cody's skin just by doing a fake retirement. At least, I I think that's what he said, because the decibel meter was going absolutely nuts here. It was deafening. Cody then decided they should be having a big old chat one-on-one, so AJ did tell the Good Brothers to go to the back. This is mostly because he already had all his verbal bullets in the chamber. Because while Rhodes wants to talk about the fact that he never quits, let's go through the evidence. Because I do believe you once were in WWE and you quit. You then went to New Japan and you quit. You went to Ring of Honor and you quit when you started your own company and you quit that too. Now, of course, we didn't say AEW here, but it's quite clear what he meant. It just meant that Styles was cooking, especially when he said, when the going gets tough, Cody gets going. I don't know why that made me chuckle. It's just like a good line, but also sort of a silly one. Cody then shot back by saying, well, it goes to show you know nothing about me, because this wasn't quitting or running away. It was about betting on myself, because I knew that I wanted to get to the tippity top. I tell you, I do actually believe that. When you go through Cody's story, it's pretty damn inspiring. He also has proof, because look, right now he is the WWE champion, so it did pay off. And if anyone is a disappointment, it is AJ Styles, because you quit on yourself, man. You're meant to be one of the best wrestlers in the world, and to get under me, you had to pretend to be Mark Henry. I appreciate the shout out. AJ then said something, but it was hard to make out, because once again, the fans were being so tremendous. But I do believe it was about the fact that Cody didn't quit in that Hell in a Cell match against Seth Rollins, but AJ isn't Seth Rollins. I was like, well, I know that, AJ. How stupid do you think I am? He will take inspiration from that though, because he is going to beat Cody into a bloody pulp until he does say, I quit. But Cody looked at AJ, and AJ looked at Cody, because you know when you do this in wrestling, it means it's super serious. So I actually thought this was really damn good, and it has got me so pumped for that match. And while 99.9% of me is like, man, of course, Cody's not going to lose, I just have this small sliver. And I don't know where it came from. Maybe somebody didn't finish the cake. I also do want to quickly address this discussion that sometimes happens online, where people go, oh my gosh, you can't believe it. It's another Cody Rhodes feud, and people are talking about AEW. Are you kidding me? Because we must have forgotten what wrestling is. Because if you were in a situation like this and you were trying to wind your opponent up, would you go, oh no, I can't possibly mention that personal thing because somebody else did it? Or would you go, man, I am going to piss this individual off as much as I can and just say whatever the hell you want? Quiz answer, it's that one. So he's just the most legit way to handle this kind of situation, and these two just work well together, and I actually think we may be getting somewhat of a dusty finish later, meaning even though Cody Rhodes wins the match, I think for about 2 minutes, we may pretend that it's gone to AJ. I'm totally fine with that. Take me on the roller coaster, man. When the Bloodline killed the Street Profits. Whoops. This, of course, is because they promised to attack Kevin Owens, so Santos Escobar and his boys just found them backstage and, yeah, broke them in two. We also had a video for the tag team title match, and this time it was Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark saying, well, we're going to win, so somebody is lying. When Michin got absolutely wrecked by Nia Jax. This kind of gone more than 2 minutes, although fair play to Michin, because she did attack Nia Jax at the bell, and she even hit Eat Defeat, but nothing was working. When Tiffany Stratton on commentary got into it with Mia Yim, to the point Mia grabbed Tiffany, just threw her across out of the announce table. This is out of control. Of course, all of this just meant that Nia Jax had taken her med packs when they all got back in the ring. She hit the Annihilator, and she just won. This was kind of off to me, because if anybody doesn't need a second, it would be Nia Jax. Although, picture this, my friends. Let's say we do get to SummerSlam and somebody decides that Nia Jax should become the brand new women's champion. Do you know a good way to do that and sort of protect Bayley in the process? Well, it would be outside interference from Tiffany Stratton. You heard it here first. While that is an odd pairing too, I suppose you can then also do the tags between those two and Bayley and Naomi. So yeah, this is all good, mostly because I have just really enjoyed Nia Jax ever since she did come back to the WWE. She just wants to be an obnoxious asshole or a super duper bad guy. I appreciate that. Owens then did indeed inform us that the Street Profits were dead, so later on in their main event, they're not going to be able to help him. Shib, when SmackDown made me laugh. Because we cut to Logan Paul post his Tetris tournament, which is the most surreal status of the year, when I believe he went to his house in Puerto Rico when his butler or somebody walked up to him and said, oh, hey, Logan, your friend from LA is in the pool. And Paul was like, what are you talking about? I don't have a friend from LA. As it turned out, it was quite literally LA Knight just chilling in his swimming pool in some kind of like Lilo, whatever you want to call it. And he was on the phone, and he was chilling, and these two never fought. LA just walked past him and said, I'll see you in Chicago next week. and he left. And given there was water and it was a wrestling show, you would have thought one person was going in it, but actually doing it like this made it better because they were both acting like children, and I'm never going to get mad about shooting a segment away from the arena. It makes wrestling feel alive. So I would just consider this fun, although when we do get to SummerSlam, or wherever the flub we're going to do it, LA Knight has to become the United States champion. Did you hear me, WWE? I said has to. Carmelo Hayes did not feel the same because we then cut to him in the SmackDown crowd and he was all like, oh man, LA Knight, he's an absolute penis. He did not say that. He also revealed that he's going to have a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank next week, and when he does get into that thing, he can win the briefcase. And if I was Carmelo, I'd be so mad because we're doing that thing again. Why does he have to have a qualifying match? And other people have just gone, actually, no, I just want to be in the thing. I don't want to listen to you. I told you I'm in, so I'm in. It's not really a big deal, especially because right after this, my word, do we get some stakes? Because Paul Heyman found Solo and he said, listen, you have to win this match with Kevin Owens later because you went and hired two insane people. So if you lose, they're not going to respect you anymore. Solo didn't want to hear any of this. And he was like, actually, no, Mr. Heyman, if I do get defeated, do you know who I'm coming after next? It's you. Uh-oh. The whole crowd was chanting, we want Roman at this stage, and that has to be the plan sooner rather than later. You do not want to miss the peak here. We need the return of the Tribal Chief. When we did indeed finish off the build for this women's tag team match, because we had Isla Dawn and Alba Fire come out in front of the crowd, and given that we were in Scotland, I thought that was quite nice. They also want to make history later, given that this is their essentially hometown, but I cannot see that happening. And man, would I love to be proven wrong. Even then, I think it could fall a little bit flat because we just haven't pushed them properly. And that's not their fault. As always, we sit down, we wait and see. When we got to our main event, and seriously, all the applause to Kevin Owens, because he has clearly been tasked with getting the Bloodline 2.0 over, and he is doing everything in his damn power. He also had a Scotland 316 shirt on with a Stone Cold logo on the back, so this man doesn't care. And he was going to war with Solo Sikoa, but in the early going, KO was like, nope, I'm gonna murk you. He also hit a frog splash from the apron to the floor because he's a crazy cat, when he too got caught by the commercial break. I swear, if this keeps happening, I'm going to start a counter. I'm sure what happened too is the Bloodline just shouted at Owens, you don't have any friends anymore because we murdered them all. And Kev was like, damn, that's actually true. And Sami Zayn is on Raw when he started to cry, and Solo doesn't care about tears, so he went and got him. That'll do. It also makes him a no-friend Fred, which is when Solo absolutely killed him with that hip attack when we cut to Paul Heyman, who was basically having a nervous breakdown. Honestly, his facial expressions are so good. And once again, we got the We Want Roman chant. Eventually, Owens took his own med pack, which meant these two came together and they smashed each other with clotheslines. And even though it looked like Sikoa was going to get back to his feet first, nope, he got Tornado DDT. Solo then switched this again because he was able to turn a super kick into a drop from Samoa when he went for what was a rock bottom. It wasn't a rock bottom, it was that spinning Solo thing. But I like to think we deliberately put him in this position because what does Solo Sikoa keep saying? We. And what the hell is we? I think he's referring to The Rock. Thankfully, KO was able to hit a cannonball and a senton instead for another 1-2 when they were fighting on the ring apron. And Solo gave him a backdrop onto that thing, and it's the hardest part of the ring. And that rhymed, it's essentially a poem, so it must be true. We were then going for superplexes, but instead Kevin was able to get a splash of the frogs for yet another 1-2. And that's when I knew, damn it, he's not winning this match, he's taken too much. He then started to kick out of all the spinning solos like they were nothing, as I started to cheer for Kevin Owens because I'm a strange man, when he actually hit the stunner. And just when he was going to get the 3, Paul Heyman grabbed his foot, not his foot, Solo's foot, and he put it on the ropes the referee didn't see. Kevin Owens just got screwed. This of course made all the sense in the world too, because if Paul Heyman hadn't have done this, Solo was going to kill him. But Heyman was super duper mad here. Not Heyman, Owens was mad at him instead. And at one point, he was going to throw Paul into the announce table when of course the stupid Bloodline attacked. Because Solo had clearly taken his Phoenix down when he hit him with the big old spike, threw him in the ring and hit him with the thumb for a second time. And by this point, Kevin's HP was at 0. 1, 2, 3. So I really did like that finish because not only did it protect Kevin Owens, but it ties directly into the story and that Paul Heyman wants to stay alive. And just as the Bloodline was about to finish Kevin Owens off, we got a mega return to SmackDown. It was Doink the Clown. It wasn't Doink the Clown. It was Randy Orton. My word, we should have had the decibel meter back. This pop was huge. He obviously took out the entire Bloodline, including giving Tonga Loa an RKO. And his face was so good when he took that, so more power to that guy. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton hugged. he is no longer a no-friend Fred. I also want to point out before that the Tongas were just fighting each other because they wanted to get the last piece of Kevin Owens, and I thought that was such an important detail because everyone keeps saying these two guys are unhinged. There's Exhibit A. So I thought all of this was very effective, and again, we get one step closer to Roman's return. And I kind of feel like Randy Orton may turn on Kevin Owens, because once he's a heel, he can go after Cody Rhodes. I am getting excited, and I am giving it an up. Which brought us to the end of SmackDown, and yes, admittedly, some of it did feel like filler, but overall, I left with a good feeling in my tum-tum. I shall give it an up. And if you're saying, Simon, is that mostly because of the crowd? You know it is. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe, and leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's SmackDown, and click this video somewhere on the screen, which is ups and downs for AEW, because I like to tell you always, we support wrestling. Thank you very much as well, my friends, and enjoy Clash at the Castle. I shall see you tomorrow when we up the downs for that too, because wrestling never ends. See you soon.